Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for tuning in to the Altenew YouTube and Facebook channels. And I'm Amy, and this is Amy's Inspiration Station, hoping to inspire you using some amazing Altenew products. And I have a kind of a cool show for you. So I'm going to show off a couple of items. And I thought of today's show as like dipping into some of the recesses of Altenew's website that maybe you didn't know that Altenew had some of these products. So I wanted to share them with you. And I have to say, Han is behind the badge today. So huge shout out to Han. So hi, Han. I hope you're doing well. So please show Han some love. And I'm so happy that you're here and that you're spending a little bit of time with us and letting Altenew craft your life. And I'm really excited. I'd love to know where you are tuning in from. And I'd love you to know that if you happen to share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And just stay tuned after our show today, and Han will be putting that winner into the chat, and you can see that you've won, and maybe you want to try out some of these products. So I'm so excited that you guys are here today, and I'm seeing that Shiomara's here, and Monica, sunny Texas. That's great. And Miss Tamp and Tracy, also from a sunny location, and Brianna. And good morning, Brianna from New Zealand. I hope you're going to have a great day. And Cece and Sandra. And I'm so excited for you guys to be here. So, and Dawn, also from New Zealand. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of like one layer cards today, just because I wanted to show off these two stamp sets that I got, I don't know, a little bit ago. And I haven't used. So I've kind of been trying to like pull from my stash and see what I have. And today there is a free, if you happen to shop, I think it might be even through tomorrow, you get a free package of masking paper, which is pretty neat. So I am going to show off some different things to do with some masking paper. Hey, Sandra from Western Mass. I'm on the Eastern side. I hope you're doing well. And Cece, I'm so glad that you are here. All right, so I am going to go ahead and turn my video camera down. And I'm trying a new lighting setup today. So if it looks a little dark, let me know. If it looks a little bright, let me know. If you'd like it to be one way or another, let me know. So I'm trying in a couple of things. And hey, Wendy from Belgium. And Kathy, thank you so much for sharing this. And hi, Sarah from Florida. Again, you could be like Kathy and be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. So please share this and let us know that you're sharing this and where you share to. And Han is behind the badge today. And this is what I am talking about. Tracy, do you have the stamp? The question though, Tracy, is have you used the stamp? So these are two adorable sets. And these are kind of bigger than a mini delight. And let me pull this off. I just realized that was probably inopportune that I kept the masking paper on this because you can't see the stamp. All you see is my masking paper. These stamps are adorable. This is Typewriter flowers, and this one is called Letter Flowers. And the Typewriter one has this little stamp that goes along with it that says, P.S. I love you. And it is a little typewriter, and it's got a bunch of flowers popping out the top. And Letter Flowers is similar. It's a little letter, and it's got some flowers. So yes. Oh, I love you card. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much for sharing this. And Sandra, thank you for sharing this. And hi, Nancy. I'm so glad that you are here. I hope that you get a little bit of sunlight today. So I wanted to show off these two stamps because I think they're really cute and they're a good price point. And I did not purchase the die, but there's also a coordinating die with this. And I'm like, what can I do with these? So I wanted to make some one-layer cards, but I'm going to do a little bit of something a little different. So this is an example of the card I made. And can you see that I put the P.S. I love you? It perfectly fits right there on the little paper. It looks so cute. And I just colored it in with some artist markers. And I did some masking so it kind of pops up over this stencil. And I made a coordinating envelope. And I used something called the envelope liner die. And that's how I got this. And so that's what I wanted to do today is talk about coordinating envelopes. And look, I put the little P.S. I love you on the back of this. And then I stenciled that in with the alphabet stencil. So that's one of the cards. I'm actually going to use the letter card today to do this. So I'm going to do a similar card to this, but I'm going to use this. And if I have time, I'll go over and I'll remake this for you and show you how I did everything. But that's kind of my plan. I did want to say that the alphabet stencil, it's still available. You guys might have this because this is a little bit, that's a 2020. It's hard for me to say that 2020 is old. Do you know what I mean? But there's so many products that come out that Altenew has. But this stencil it's technically on the website, but it might not necessarily be available. So you can find something around or just type in on the website that you'd like to be notified when this comes back in stock. Thank you so much, Cece, because I thought that was cute that with the typewriter that the alphabet stencil kind of went, and connected from this. So I thought that was cool. So, all right. So we're going to play around. We're going to have some fun. So that was the alphabet stencil. But with this one, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So that was typewriter flowers. And this one is letter flowers. And so it's going to be very similar to this, but a little bit different. All right. And Dawn, thank you for sharing this. And you too can be like Dawn, that you can be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. If you let us know, if you share this live while we're live and let us know where you shared it. All right. All right. Here we go. I am going to use a couple of things. So first off, I need to stamp this. And I don't know if you knew this, but Altenew, I knew I put it somewhere and it was like away because I needed it off on my desk because I already did it. Did you guys know that Altenew sells Nina Solar White? So this is actually Altenew's version of Nina Solar White. It comes in 80 pound, but it also comes, I think they have 110 pound. And so what I did is I grabbed a piece of this and I just cut it up into 4 little pieces. And that's how I got my these. And these are great. They're nice and thin because I'm doing a 1-layer card. So I don't want too much bulk. And this is 110 Nina. So it's my card base that I'm going to be adding everything onto. So these are actually on the website, so you can get these. All right, so I'm going to grab my base, my card front, and here's my little stamp wheel. And I'm going to be stamping this on here. So I'm going to start this. There's going to be a little method to my madness coming up. Let me know, Tracy, if the screen is unclear. Let me know if I need to do anything, if there's any kind of thing. Let me know at all. All right, so thank you so much, Melly, for sharing this while we're live. All right, so I'm going to grab my little typewriter flowers. And I like this set because it comes with all these little tiny hearts. And the hearts are filled in or the hearts are open. And then it has, hello, thanks, I love you, and I miss you. And I thought those would be really cute. So instead of kind of putting this smack dab in the middle, I want to put this over on the side. And I'm going to do my best to make it a little bit on the straighter side. And I just want to put it over on the side. And you see that I'm in a landscape format. All right. Yes, get loyalty points. Seems a bit muted, but I can see well enough. All right. Let me see if I can fix some of that stuff. And muted in terms of light or color. Let's see if that looks a little bit better, Tracy. Let me know what you think. All right, since I'm going to be using artist markers in order to color this, I am going to be stamping using the Crisp Ink Permanent Black. And Permanent Black is permanent. This works for everybody, This will work for watercolor. This will work for alcohol markers. This will work for anything you got. And this is going to work. So I use, if I know I'm going to be coloring, I go right away to permanent black. All right, so I'm going to grab the top of my stamp wheel, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. Hey, Teresa, I hope you are doing well, and I hope it is nice and sunny in your spot. We just finally got some sun out here in New England, and supposedly it's going to be a nice week, so I'm looking forward to that. And we are talking letter flowers today. Oh, yeah, aren't they, Monica? The inks are the best. And this is a great ink. In fact, I just re-inked it because I noticed I was going a little dry. So that's one thing, especially for these types of inks. Make sure you get that re-inker. So very important. And I will stamp this because I want this nice crisp black. And I will stamp this a couple of times. All right. So again, I'm stamping letter flowers using permanent black ink because I'm going to be coloring this in using my artist markers. And I just want to get a really nice impression on this one. So Tracy, let me know how that's going now. If that is working for you, the lighting or anything as well. Oh yes, and I love it that Han is up with exactly what's going on. And you saw me use that little stamp conditioning eraser because this is the first time I've used these. And I feel terrible that I have these gorgeous stamps. I have these gorgeous stamps and I haven't pulled them out of the packaging yet. So that's why I really wanted to make sure I hit letter flowers and typewriter flowers because these are really cute sets. Okay, YouTube thing. That might be. Thanks, Cece. Yes, instant satisfaction. I love it. All right, here we go. And I'd love to know if you like to do one layer cards. I kind of tend to stick with less layers, especially if I know I'm going to mail it. Okay. All right. That's good to know, especially if I'm going to mail my card, because then I know I won't have any sort of issue with bulk, extra postage or, sequins or something like that kind of popping off. I tend to keep my layered, like where I have like lots of layers. Those are usually my hand delivered cards. Or I add a little padding or a little something. In fact, your Altenew packaging, you can cut that up and add it as some padding if you need to when you're mailing cards. So don't throw that packaging away. It helps. All right. You can see how nice and beautiful and crisp that is. And I am going to just make sure and take a moment because this is permanent black ink. And I have to say the stamp cleaner is great for this. In fact, I'm running out. I got to get this on my next list. But the stamp cleaner will definitely take off the permanent black ink. And it comes right off. It's really, really great. I'm going to hold on to this for a little bit because I got to stamp that in onto a mask. And I'm going to cut a mask out for this guy. So I'm just going to pull this over to the side. All right. So I'm just going to keep this here. And I pulled out, I wanted some, colors that were a little bit on the fall side because I was doing fall. And this was another thing that I bought, but I haven't opened yet. And this is the Beach Garden set. So this is set number K. And this comes with Sunray Chamomile. This is Golden Sunset, I think. And then this one here, the Sea Breeze Turquoise, Thai Blue, and Starlight, gorgeous blues. And then it has Gentleman's Gray in it as well. So I'm going to use these. So, and then in addition, and I have like a little, when I want to pull because my markers are on the other side of a room. And so I just go in and I grab my colors that I'm going to use. And then I just put them in a little bin like this. And then this is what's on my desk. And then I can just pull from them. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some quick coloring. So I'm doing some quick coloring. I'm not doing a lot because these images are a little bit on the smaller side. But I have my Martian Terrain colors. So that's these four, just double checking that I have these four. And I got my glasses so I can make sure that I see what the heck I'm doing. And I'm just going to color this. And since I am, this is the wrong one. Since I am making sure that, since I'm going to be using artist markers, That's why I'm doing this on a card front that I'm going to then put onto a card base, because that ink is going to show through. So I've just stamped this with that permanent black ink. And again, that's going to be great because this will not run. It's not going to do anything crazy. All right, so when I do my artist marker coloring, I'm going to start off with my darkest color. So in this case is mahogany bark, and I'm just going to do the tulips in this color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color right at the base, and any place where it's going to be a little bit on the darker side. And like I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do I'm doing some quick coloring. So I'm going to blend, but I'm not going to, sit here and take 85 minutes to do this little tiny image. I just kind of want to get this done and move on. And that's why I'm kind of thinking that I'm only going to get through one card today, but I wanted to do this one so that way you could see it. Hi, Sherry. You have not missed much. We are stamping using this set. It's called Letter Flowers, and we're making a 1-layer card today. And I'm going to be using stencils and masking paper. And Han is behind the badge, so huge shout out, a lot of love over to Han, who is putting in these links. And for those of you who think you might be like, I think I might be going shopping today or tomorrow at Altenew, just to let you know that masking paper, I believe, is free with any order. I'm sure it's a certain amount, but you can check the details on the website. And I think I saw something about like tools. So I'm going to be using the scissors. I'm all over these scissors. I'm absolutely loving them. The tiny scissors, these scissors, I'm going to be using those when I cut out my masking, and they're really, really great. So, all right. Teresa, I hope that this helps you to get your craft mojo. Just a little bit of something, a little bit of coloring. And then I'm thinking as we're heading into kind of holiday season, I'm thinking about matching envelopes. And so that's why I wanted to, if those of you, and I'd love to know this, if you could put this in the chat, do you have the envelope liner die set? And that is a set that we're going to be talking about today, because I've had it and I don't use it that often, but it's something that I really like. And so I wanted to showcase that a little bit today. And again, I'm trying to use fall colors because I want to make this a little bit on the fall end. So this is Martian Terrain colors. And so I started off with mahogany bark, then I went to burnt red, and then I went to canyon clay, and this is pastel sunrise, which is the lightest. And I'm just doing some quick coloring on these. All right, so those are my tulips. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and color in. I have daisies. The way I see it is like I have daisies, and then I have some sunflowers. So my daisies, I'm actually going to do using these guys. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grab an orange, so one of the darker oranges, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color in. Oh, I think I did a sunflower. No, this is a daisy. I'm making it a daisy. And this one happens to be an orange daisy. The other two I'm turning into sunflowers, even though these flowers look the same. They look the same to me, but that's okay. All right, you have it. And have you used it though? That's the thing. Oh yeah, that one is cool, Tracy. The fine line, the 3D frame die set. That is cool. All right, so I put down the orange. So this one is Snapdragon. And then I'm going to add in, this is Chamomile, which is the lightest. And I'm just going to drag that color up just to make it a little orangey over on that side. I'm going to grab the colors that I have next are from Summer Afternoon. And I'm going to use those for my sunflowers. I have to say, I have a hard time talking and coloring at the same time. So I'm doing pretty well right now, I have to say. So you guys go ahead and tell me in the chat, can you color and talk at the same time? Or can you only focus on one thing? Because I don't know how well I'm doing here. Okay, I got that. Now I'm going to grab some pocketful of, Summer Afternoon. And this is yellow. So this is, here's my lightest guy. My latest guy is buttercream, and then I have a mango smoothie. And mango smoothie is really cute. And my Summer Afternoon set I didn't get directly from Altenew, and so it's a little bit messed up because I have mango smoothie instead of the color that I should have when I forget what that is. All right, so I'm just adding some yellow in. So this is mango smoothie I'm putting down. And these are my little sunflowers. And like I said, I'm trying to come up with like a fall, kind of a fall look here. Oh my gosh, right, Monica? They do. Kathy, I messed something up. Yeah, I do too. I got to tell you. All right, I'm coming in with Warm Sunshine and just adding just a little bit on the base, just to kind of darken up my little sunflowers, my fake sunflowers. Okay, and now I'm going to add in chamomile, or sorry, buttercream. And then buttercream, I'm just going to finish these off and just kind of drag all this color up. So now I have some little yellow flowers. All right, so now we got to do these middles. And my sunflowers are going to have brown middles, so I'm going to use Delectable Delights. And I'm not going to use it on the middles of my other ones. Oh, thanks, Monica. I appreciate it. I know, right, Sandra? It's so hard to like color with these and not need to eat something. You really, really do. All right, so I'm grabbing some Delectable Delights, especially when, Monica, especially when you have Delectable Delights, because everything sounds good. Like this one is milk chocolate. And then we have vanilla cream, hazelnut, and almond butter. So I think I want to eat all of these, you know? All right, so I'm going to grab the almond butter. And for my little guys that are my sunflowers, I'm just going to go right in the middle and do some brown. And then I'm going to come in with vanilla cream and just kind of spread that out. And if you feel like it's not totally working, we'll just do a little tip to tip just to get those in there. All right, there we go. And for my little daisies, I want those to be yellow. So I'm going to come in with the buttercream, and I'm just going to go ahead and make these yellow in the middle. All right, and there's my little guys. All right, so now I got them. And the next thing I want to do, and you see how I can just pull them off, and went ahead and put it on there too. And so that's why I like to have this little bucket, and I just throw everything right in the bucket. And then I can clean it up later. But it gets it off my desk because otherwise I have markers rolling around all over the place, right? Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I thought the red Martian Terrain is the way to go. It's so, so cute. So this is Green Valley. And by the way, I happen to marker mine. So you can see I have Green Valley 1, and then this is Green Valley 3. And that's how I can tell, because otherwise if I look at them, I tend to not what it is. I also tend to color. I do that too, Sherry. Just color with my tongue. I totally do that. All right, this is where the bullet tip is going to come into play. So I'm going to start here. This is Green Valley 3. So this is Shadow Creek. This is pretty dark. I'm just going to do the base of my little leaves here, and anywhere where there's kind of some overlapping color. And I'm not going to do those stems because I'm going to do the stems in a different color or a different, I'm going to use 1 and 4, 2 and 4 on those. And this is 1 and 3 in terms of the colors. But this is the Green Valley set. And again, really quick little coloring. This guy's going to be pretty dark because he's in the back. And this guy's going to have some dark in there. And this guy's going to be dark over here because he's behind a lot of different things. Okay, so that was Shadow Creek. And then I'm going to come in with my lightest one, which is Firefly. So now I'm just going to kind of spread that color out. And again, I'm just doing quick coloring. I'm not looking for this to be, you know, the most amazing coloring I have ever done. I just want to get some color down on this because we're going to be adding a lot more interest and a lot more color to this. But it's nice just to have that one layer card. So you want to add that too. Could you come in a little closer for coloring? Absolutely, I can, Kathy. Let me come on in. All right, guys, I'm going to sneak in. So I'm going to zoom in. So be mindful if you happen to get seasick. It's coming in as soon as I can. I think I might need to do batteries in this. And that's my coloring, so you can kind of see it. All right, I'm done. You can kind of see it. You guys can look again. And so I just added just a little bit of that dark green, and now I'm adding the firefly, which is that light green. And I'm just kind of spreading that color around and just mixing it. And again, quick, quick, quick. So I'm not looking for anything crazy. I am blending. A lot of times I'll leave like white in the tip and I'll do all these kinds of stuff. I'm not doing that here. This is just getting some color down because we're gonna, this is gonna be part of a much larger thing. So there's more to come on this little card. So, and can't walk and talk, yeah. I can't color and talk. It really is hard. I'm having a hard time right now. I got to tell you guys. So thanks for being there for me. All right, here we go. Trying to keep this. All right, I think this is my last leaf. If anybody sees a leaf that I missed, let me know. But I think this is my last leaf. Okay. So now, actually, it was good, Kathy, that you asked me to zoom in because the stems get a little bit difficult. So I want to show that. So this is going to be the darkest one. So this is mountain pine. So that is GV4. And then I'm going to grab GV2, and this is grassfield. So these are the next two I'm going to use. So 2 and 4. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will, Tracy. So just like the Altenew inks, the colors in the markers, because that's the great thing. And I think that's honestly why I purchased like all of my Altenew inks, is because I don't have to think. So they come in a colorway. And so if you take a look at 1, 2, 3, and 4, it goes from light to darkest. And I also will pull out the Green Valley set, which I have right next to me. And that's Green Meadows. Here it is. And those are the exact same inks. And so it comes in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1 is the lightest and 4 happens to be the darkest. And that's what's nice, is that you can line these up. And that's why I went with Altenew. I had when I started crafting, I had a really hard time kind of deciding which ink line to choose. And so I tried a couple of different ones. And what I liked about the Altenew ink line is I didn't really have to sit here and think about it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm taking the darkest one, which is Mountain Pine, and I'm just adding just a little touches of color just along one side. So you can see I just went right along the edge there. I'm coming, this is really tricky because these guys are really kind of tiny. The bullet tip can be your friend here if you're a little shaky. And I'm just adding in some color and just adding in some dark. And I'm going to be using the lighter color to mash this all together. And again, I'm just coming in really just a little bit. So now I'm going to come in, and this one is Grassfield. So this is that second color. So I did 2 and 4 on the stems and 1 and 3 on the leaves. And you can already tell there's like a little subtle difference. So these stems are a lot darker than the leaves. And that was what I was going for, is I wanted my stems. And you could do it the other way too, is if you wanted the leaves to be darker than the stems, then you just switch it and do it the other way. All right, and then this one here, all done. And then this guy. Okay, so I'm all, I'm these two, this guy, and a little bit of that guy. Okay, so let me hold this up so now you can see it. So again, I was going for a fall look, so that's why I chose those. Again, really quick little coloring. There is some slight variation, but it's not too much of a big deal. All right, so I'm going to pop out just a little bit. So I'm warning you in advance, if I can, just so you can see. So you're not like, oh my gosh, in my face with it, right? Okay, so now we're out here. One thing I'm going to do is I want my envelope to be white. And so what I'm doing here, oh yeah, that's a great idea, Tracy. Saving a lot of ink, not scribbling the colors, trying to see what the heck is going on. I know, that was really great. Thank you so much, Han. So white has like a little bit to it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my lightest blue, and this happens to be Sea Breeze. The other thing I would suggest is to use your lightest gray. The one that I pulled out is Silver Lake, but I'm actually going to use I'm going to use this blue. And I'm just going to trace a little line. I'm not going to go in, I'm not going to color it. I'm just tracing a little line right inside of the envelope. And this is just going to make my white kind of pop out a little bit more. That's all. That's all this does. It's very, very subtle. And all I'm going to do is just go right inside those lines. If you want to, you could color this in, but I wanted to kind of keep it white because I'm going to do some other stuff on the outside. So I'm just going to kind of take these and just go right inside. So I tend to use light blue. You also can use gray. That's your other option, is you also can use gray. And I'm just going to go right outside and just add a little shadow to these little leaves that are hitting here. And again, it just adds just a little bit of something, just to kind of make them kind of pop out and stand out. And it's very subtle, but it does help a little bit. All right, one more line, and then I'm just going to get the top of the envelope. I don't know if you guys end up like doing a drop shadow, but this is it's good. So I'm just going to come in and just, this will also help all these little flowers to really kind of pop out where they need to be. Sometimes I'll do my drop shadow first, that way in case if I have any boo-boos, it kind of gets covered up. But I also do it after. I don't think it really matters, but it will all just kind of show up. And again, I cannot talk and color at the same time. So talk amongst yourselves. Let me know how you're doing. And I have to say, I haven't colored on a card in a long time. I usually have been doing so many techniques. So this is kind of refreshing a little bit to have that little bit of coloring. All right, so there's my little card, just a little bit of blue, just kind of, yeah, the blue is nice because the blue is also a neutral. And so you can use the blue in addition to that. So that's kind of the nice thing. So that's really nice. All right, so thank you so much, Sherry. All right, so now we have this. So now what's our next step? Where are we heading to? So I'm going to move my markers away because we're good. I'm not doing anything else with markers. And what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to cut a mask for this, and then we're going to do some stenciling. So I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to grab some masking paper. So I need a couple of different things from my masking paper bunch, and I think I need to place an order because it looks like I need some more masking paper. All right, so I'm going to grab this piece. And I save all my little tiny pieces. I also save my masks. So you saw for the typewriter flowers, like I cut that mask and I'm going to save that. So that's there, you know, so it's good. All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, and Sherry, thank you so much for liking and sharing this. And you too can be like Sherry. And we have about 30 minutes left. If you like and share this while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. And we have Han behind the badge today. And she will be announcing that winner after our program. And if you just stay on and take a look at the chat, she announces that winner. And it will be posted both on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, so I'm just putting this down. All I'm going to do is just stamp this. I don't need to stamp it in permanent black. And in fact, I'm going to stamp it in a dye ink because that way it's going to dry right away and I won't get, you know, stuff all over my hands like I normally do and then transfer black ink in places that I don't want to transfer to. All right, so I'm just going to stamp this down. So again, I just grabbed whatever dye ink I happen to have. And then I can put this stamp away because I am all done with this stamp. All right, just grabbing a little bit of this, cleaning that off, and I'm going to put this right over on the side. So I'm going to be doing two different types of masking today. One is I'm going to mask the stamp itself. And the second thing is I'm going to mask off a region of the card. So the first thing is when you have a stamp like this and you did not purchase the die, so I'm going to recommend that you purchase the die, is you need to cut it out. And that's where these detail scissors, these are really fast. And because I want to make a mask and I want it to be really tight, I'm actually going to go inside the little green line that I made. And I'm okay with, like, it's not really going to stamp or do anything. So I'm not going to be super careful kind of coming around all of this edges. So I'm going to be a little messy when I cut this out. But I do have to say, so I'm just going to make a circle, like I'm not going into every single one of these little petals. Just going to go right around it. And these images are relatively simple. They're not too crazy. And so that's why but if I had the die, then this would be a lot faster. So get the die. Moral of the story, get the die. All right, and you come over here. All right, and I'm going to do this little flower. Yeah, that little scrap line. So here we go. Right around here, and then you can see I'm coming right around. And this is nice because, like I said, these scissors, I actually didn't think it was possible, but the right tools definitely help. And like I said, I think today is a tool sale, if I saw my email correctly. But I do know that the masking paper is free with purchase. So take a look. I forget how much the purchase is. Somebody's going to check and let me know. But you can get some masking paper and stock up on that masking paper because you can do so much with it, as you're about to see. Okay, so now I have this. So I'm going to move these to the side and then get rid of my little pieces. Save those pieces. All right, so I'm going to mask this right on here. And I'm going to be using the leafy bed stencil because I thought the leafy bed stencil was going to go perfectly with this little stamp because I thought this was really cute. And I didn't want to put it like everywhere because I felt that was a little too much. So I'm just going to do just a little bit. And when I put this mask down, you can see that I can still see kind of the edges of my stamping. And that's just to make sure that that stencil is going to go right where I want it to. I'm going to save that. Don't let that go. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut out on all four sides. I'm just going to cut out an A2 size piece. So let's see what I got. All right, so that is 5.5. That actually is going to be perfect. By 4.25. Okay, saving that. Now, I'm going to end up doing a mask. So I actually want it to stencil mostly behind this. So I'm going to end up with 2 lines. So there's going to be a line up here and there's going to be a line up here. And so I'm actually going to cut this. So at least I have the right width. And I'm looking for about, gosh, I think I want that to be 1.5 inches. All right, so I'm going to cut out a 1.5 inch piece. And this will make sense in a second if you're like, right now you're watching my brain kind of work. Which, when it does, is always amazing. All right. Yes, absolutely, Sandra. It's so nice that we do that. So please make sure you let us know that you shared this. And we are excited to have you come and join us today on our Altenew channel. All right, I'm going to grab, I just have a piece of masking tape here. This is just satin masking tape. So I'm just taping this down because I have a tendency to be excited about things and I shift my papers where I don't want them to be. And I'm going to take my piece of masking paper and I am just going to line this right up on the bottom. And remember, I cut this. So it should be a nice even edge right on there. Okay. And now I'm going to take my other piece. And I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do the bigger piece because I think I did not do that other one not big enough. So I'm going to switch over. And I want to go right about I'm going to go right about here. So I'm using a little bit of my edge of my mat to stay that on. All right, so that's nice and done. Okay. So now I'm good. I'm taped down. I'm ready to rock and roll. Yes, this is great, Sandra. It is so many, it's so versatile. You don't think about the masking paper and what it can do, but it can do a lot. And it's just nice because I know that like everything is nice and protected, and I can go ahead and I can use this. All right, so this is the leaf bed stencil. This is a fabulous stencil. I loved it for this like really intricate pattern, and I like the fact that the leaves are negative. So what we're going to be doing is inking in around the leaves. So the leaves are actually going to end up being white. And I think that that was kind of cool. So I'm going to grab, I want a really, really light color. So when I want that, I actually grab the jewel tone, Frozen Delights, the Frozen Delight set. All right, I have a little bit of masking tape there. I'm just going to grab the rest of my satin masking tape. And I reuse these pieces all the time, all the time. All right, I'm just going to put this down and this down. I didn't end up doing this inside of my stamp wheel because that's where I love to do it. But I did it on here because I knew I needed all the lines and everything to do this. I'm going to use the small ink blending tools. And I want to do this in like a nice light greenish color. And I'm in love with mint chai, but I'm also in love with pistachio. And I think I'm going to go pistachio today. I think I'm not going to go mint chai. I'm going to go pistachio. So I'm going to do my green. And I'm just going to double check that my green brush is actually clean, and it's got a little bit of gunk on it. So I'm just taking a moment to clean this off. And you can see I got a little green on there, so I'm going to do this. Can you reuse the masking paper, Sherry? Absolutely. You can use it as many times as you can. So I'm saving all the release paper, and I can put that back. I happen to like to just put it on the acetate. So I have like extra packaging material. I even can stick it on the acetate of this and then just have it ready to rock and roll. And that's what I have a tendency to do. All right, so I just used my microfiber cleaning cloth. We're looking pretty good. All right, I'm just going to grab some pistachio, and I'm going to town. So I'm going to start on the masking paper and just come in. And again, I'm looking for this to be light because I want the star of my show to be the coloring that I did. So that's going to come in here. And I know I usually do 2 cards for you, but that's why I did this one over here, so that way you can see it. But yes, I definitely do take a moment and I make sure that I have to tell you, I think I lost my pokey tool. Is that possible? I really did. I lost my pokey tool. Oh boy. So I'm just coming in. These tend to move a lot. So all I'm doing is just making sure that they're staying down. So I'm just using my bone folder because that's what I have, because I lost my pokey tool. And I'm just making sure there's enough color and getting that color right in where I want it to be. I'm also going to take I'm going to take all of this off and then see how it goes. I may end up doing the stencil. That's what happened to me when I did this card. I had it kind of this way, like in terms of having this section, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I ended up just doing it all over on that one. Yes, that is orders over 99. Thank you so much. Han to the rescue yet again, because she's amazing. Thank you, Han. All right, I just want to show you guys with this masking paper. Look at that gorgeous edge that we have. So you can see that. So nice. And then I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to put it right back on my little paper here. So I have this. And like I said, it doesn't like to stick back. So I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to stick it right to there. Now I have a piece. I can reuse it. It's totally fine. All right. I may end up doing a little bit higher, but let's see how I do. This comes off super nice and easy too. And even though I have masking paper on top of masking paper, it comes off really easy. It's not pulling my paper or anything at all. You know what? I think I like it. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to keep it. I wanted to go a little bit higher, but actually I am liking this. Okay. Okay, there. Looking for my tweezers. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to pull this masking paper off. And I am doing my best to keep this intact because of the fact that I want to reuse this. And I'm just going to stick it right on my stamp set. Sometimes if because I had this over, masking paper on top of masking paper, this may not survive, but usually it's actually pretty good at surviving. Oh yeah, it survived. Okay, I got a little edge right here I got to pull, but that's it. All right, so I just wanted to, so let's take a moment. So that's all I wanted to do. So I just wanted to give this a little bit, yeah. And Deborah, yes. And the edges are so crisp. It just makes this really nice edge to it. You can even go along with a fine liner pen and reinforce those edges. If you wanted to use washi tape, you could do that too. And I want to save this. So guess where this is going? It's going right here. And now I have this mask and I can continue to use it until it's dead, right? I can continue to use this. And that is my mask. So it's ready to go. So again, just a little bit of stenciling, just a little bit. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing this while we're live. And we have about 15 minutes to go, and you will be entered to win a $15 gift card. All right, so here we have our card. I'm actually all done with this. And all I'm gonna do is just stamp a little tiny sentiment. And I'm just going to put, actually, I'm going to do thanks right here on my envelope. And I'm just going to use my block. And I know I maybe have shown this to you, but this is like the cutest block. This is the Altenew block. It's 2x3. And it comes in its own little case, which I just adore the fact that it's in this case. All right, so I'm just lining this right up here. I know I should just use my stamp wheel, but all right, we're good. And I'm going to grab and use Obsidian ink because it's just the best darn ink. All right, I'm just going to put that thanks right in my little envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's right there. And you see how nice and crisp that comes. Really super cute card, and it comes together really, really well. I should stamp Tracy on it. You're right. You're right, Tracy. All right. Yes, I know. Thank you so much, Monica. And it does. Just by adding that little bit of masking, it really helps to push that dimension up. And I can even come in, I can, do a little bit of black, like a heavier black line to make that. But that's it. So that's going to go right on my card base. So there we go. So I'm all ready to go. So now we need an envelope for this. So that's what we're going to make next. And I'm going to use the envelope liner die. And this might be, this is a little bit of an oldie but a goodie. You may have this, you may have gotten it like an eon ago, and maybe you don't know how to use it. Maybe you've never seen it, or you're like, and I feel like this is something that hasn't gotten a lot of love. And so this is the envelope liner die. It is really, really cool. And I also, in my quest to share with you sections of the Altenew website, which maybe you didn't know existed, Altenew has a series of fabulous 6x6 papers. And so I'm actually going to pull one out of the Wildflower paper pack. And the one that I used over here, this one is actually from, if I can find the name of it, it's somewhere in here. As you can tell, I've been through this paper pack a lot. And this one is the Blushing Blooms paper pack. So cute. Look at all of those. It's really cute. So I just grab, you could, if you have like leftover if you have leftover like things that you've tried and it just hasn't worked, you can use those as envelope liners. And they are a great example of doing that. All right, so let me find my envelope because I knew that I set it aside yesterday when I planned for this. And it got it. So here's my envelope. So I have, this works better with the square, like the, not the angled ones. This works better with the square. You can totally do that. You just have to do a little bit more cutting. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper that goes well with my little guy here. And I think I want to grab ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I should grab the green one. I'm going to grab this green one. Oh no, now I can't decide. There's too many choices. All right, I'm just going to go with my first pick. It's too many choices. It's too many. All right, so the way this works, or if I could tell you or share with you, is I want to use this side and I want this to be the inside. I could use this if I wanted to because all these are double-sided. Oh my gosh, the Essential Black and White. That was the one I was going to pull, Tracy, too. So you can see this is a little bit bigger than 6x6, this die. This middle part doesn't cut. It actually will crease the paper so it will fold easier. So you can kind of see it goes a little bit past my paper line. I don't care about that because it's going to be at the bottom of the envelope and nobody's going to see it. So I'm just making sure that this is all set on my paper. And I'm just going to add a little bit of masking tape. And if I could add that other piece, and it's somewhere. All right, and then I'm going to grab my machine, and I'm just going to run this right through my machine. All right, so there is my base, my little mat. Shove this through, and that's it. And now I have an envelope liner die, and it is literally as easy as this. And so I recommend using the paper pads because then you can use it. Or if you, like I said, you have those, you tried something, you tried some sort of technique and it didn't work out. That's okay. You were practicing. Use those. And this is great with the envelope liner die because then you get a chance to use them. They're still cool, and they mix, you just match them. I have a bin where I keep all of them, and this is it. So we are done, and it's here. So this little thing I want to crease. So I'm going to crease this. So I'm just going to fold right along that crease, and I'm just going to reinforce that crease. And then I just grab my envelope. I'm going to do a fit check first. Oh, yes, please do, Sandra. Please do. We are here Mondays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern time because everything's on Altenew time. And with so much inspiration on this channel, I encourage you to take a look. And so you see how beautiful that fits. And now I have this nice little envelope and it's all ready to rock and roll and it looks great. And when I put my card in, you can see how those colors really match and shine with it. All right, so I want to make sure this stays. So I'm going to grab a little bit of tape runner. I'm not going to use glue because this won't handle the wet, but I'm just going to add a little bit of tape runner in these corners just to make sure everything kind of fits where it's supposed to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to put that back in. Now that my fit check worked, I'm going to go ahead and stuff this back in. And now when I put this down, now I'm going to adhere it and I'm going to adhere it here. Now, because of the way just the envelope that I happen to have chosen, it has some little edges that are over here. I'm just going to take my little fine tip scissors, which I lost. Here we go. And I'm just going to cut this so it just fits better. That's all. So I just cut these little edges off. And I'm just cutting right along my envelope. And now I have an envelope that perfectly matches my thing. So yeah. Oh yeah, good idea, Monica. It's great. So it's all set and it's ready to rock and roll. And if you are somebody who makes your own envelope, this is neat too. It's just a cool little thing that they have. This envelope liner die set also comes with 3 sentiments. It also comes with little stars and little hearts, and it comes with this little leaf. So there's the extra things that are on it too. So I think that that's really great. But the envelope liner die, it's just cute. It just makes your card kind of stand out a little bit. All right, so now let's zhuzh up this card. So now I have my envelope. I'm going to grab my stencil again. So this is my leaf bed stencil. And I'm just going to come in. This is kind of like, you're getting a card from Amy, because I tend to put things in the lower right corner, and that's just kind of what I do. So I'm going to grab the same color, that same pistachio, and I'm going to come and I am going to ink this up using, because I got all the stuff out, right? I might as well take the same stuff, and I'm just going to really quickly just ink this up. Now I can use masking paper. I'm going to do this. This is just a little bit of extra left over that I had. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to really quickly put this down. Notice I'm kind of taking my life in my hands. I'm not putting any sort of masking tape down to hold this in place. A little bit, because I'm kind of trying to do this quickly, but just a little bit of something, something just to add on to this. And I'm going to come along and I want to do just a little bit here too. All right, just a little bit of something, something. So it just gives you kind of like a little bit of an idea. Oh, hey, Brandon, how are you doing? The playoffs start tomorrow? That can't be right, Brandon. Oh my gosh, you're right though. You are right, Brandon, because it is time. The Sox have been doing terribly. So I have not been watching baseball, I have to tell you. Who are you picking, Brandon? Who are you picking? I think I know. You're going to be picking the Astros. I have a feeling. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm just taking that same stencil and I'm just going right up here and I'm just adding a little bit of something, something over on this back. And it just gives it, just again, we're just trying to coordinate that along, and just gives a little bit of something to the people. Now, the other thing I can add to this is I'm going to grab a sentiment. And if I have thank you, I'm actually going to grab some of these little hearts. And I'm going to grab some of these little hearts. And I'm going to grab the little dark heart and the big one and the tiny one. And I'm just going to put them right next to each other. I'm going to group them kind of like that. So I'm going to group them there. And then what I'm doing is I am going to grab, oops, not that color. I'm going to grab my little grass field just because it's a little bit of a darker green. And I'm just going to add these in to the back of my envelope. Again, just gives it a little bit of something, something. That's on the back. You can do this in threes. I'm just going to do a couple along here. You can put a little word in, but it just kind of gives it a little something. And since you have the stuff out already, it's a why not, right? It's why not. So, all right, so let me take this. I'm going to grab some glue and just make sure that this gets adhered down to my card base because I've been floating around. And you see how my coloring, which means I did a super good job, it came through that paper because it's supposed to. And that's why I did not do this on my card front. I actually did this on, on my card base. I did it on a card front. All right, so I'm just going to take this and just stick that right on here. Okay, all right, so let's go over what we did today. So I have my card, and I have a little coordinating envelope that just uses a little bit of something there. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. Cute additions on the envelope. Absolutely. And even though the color's a little bit different, you can see we're just adding a little something on there. And I just like that fall look. It's a cute little fall card. It's something you can do. And that was really simple using that masking paper. And then also the envelope liner die. So now when I put this in, and that's also why I made a one-layer card. When I put this in, I don't have any sort of extra bulk. And that's going to be able to fit right in there. And I think there's something obstructing it down there, but I'll fix that when I put it in. But that's it. And then so when they take that card out, it just gives it that little bit of an extra wow factor. And the same is true for this one. So this one I used the typewriter flowers, and I did this because I love typewriters. And so this is an easel card. And it has that P.S. I love you. That's the sentiment that comes with it. And this is the same thing, that envelope liner die. And so I can just put this right in. And now this is all coordinating. And that's going to fit right in there. If I could get it in there. It's close. And so, but it, again, that's why I did the 1-layer card. So when you have that, and I tried to pick colors that were not exactly matching, but that were in the same family. So that way they work together. So those are our cards for today. So we have that coordinating envelope for the typewriter flowers. And then these are the letter flowers. And just, again, that little coordinating envelope with that envelope liner die. And it's just really nice because it puts it together. It's a really sweet card. And I love 1-layer cards because, you know why? I know I'm not going to be paying extra postage. And that is good for me. So I wanted to give a huge shout out to Han, who is behind the badge. And she did such an amazing job putting everything in to the chat. And just to remind you again that we use that masking paper, and use that masking paper. So it's not just for masking stamps. You also can mask off large regions like I did in order to get that background for the stamp set. And Monica, I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm so glad that all of you were able to tune in today. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us and letting Altenew craft your life. And please let us know. Please use hashtag us with hashtag Altenew. We'd love to see what you make. And join us over in the Altenew fan group if you haven't done. That's on Facebook, if you happen to be a Facebook user. And check out all those great videos on the YouTube website if you're looking for more inspiration. All right, thank you, everybody. I will see you later. And I hope you have a fabulous crafty day. All right, thank you. And thank you, Han.